What's up, everybody? This is Brother Jim's. Jesus is my savior, and I am very excited today because we have a interview that we're hosting right now. And the guy that I'm gonna bring in, I have a lot of respect for. I've seen his growth over the last few years. I've known him. I see the diligence, how hard he works at whatever it is that he do. He's an artist that's growing, maturing in the faith, and man, he has a lot to share. I've heard a few of his songs. He has a new album that just dropped. Well, it's about to drop. Uh, I think it's on the 5th. I know it's on the 5th, actually. It's going to drop April 5th. So there's 2 more days. So it's called True Color of My Faith. And I'm going to bring my brother in from another mother with the same father. What's up, my brother? Ace Ethic. Ethic, what's up, man? What's up with you, bro? How you doing, man?
I'm blessed, man. I'm happy to be here. I'm happy that this is going on. First album ever.
I know it's a
You know?
big deal, man, because of how hard you've been working on it. It's
Yeah,
and you did
yeah,
it. The
yeah. Finally.
the work is done. Now it's time to just, relax and let it do what it's supposed to do.
Yeah, yeah. To an extent,
Beautiful.
I feel like I can relax, but I feel like I still need a lot more work to do. You know, so I still have a lot more to do. That I just have a lot more to put out. Like I feel like the work for the Father, of course, is never done. But I
Hmm.
I'm not. I don't know how to take that time yet to calm down and enjoy what I have right now. I just feel like I'm still on work mode for the Father. Not in a bad way, but
100%. Well, that happened when I have this saying that I had to learn in
mm,
life is when you're young, because you're a young man, you're like 30. You know what I'm saying?
right.
When you're young, use all your strength, use all your, because you ain't gonna have the same strength that you had when you get older, when you're younger. So I
Yeah,
can appreciate that mindset. Like, I'm not done. I got a lot more to do. I got to keep pushing. I got to keep going. I can respect that. I love it, so keep going, bruh. Put that work in. But man, we got to get to this album, bro. True Color of
yeah,
My Faith. Let's talk about it, bro. What's up with this album? I've heard a few songs. It's
hmm
being released on the 5th.
yeah.
Uh Tell us a little bit about it, how it came about, man.
Well, with all the other songs that I've ever put out, it's always been what's in my heart, right? And on the transition of doing kingdom music, um, I'm I was in I was split in between the two. Like, how should I actually make the music? How can I make it? So I was in a writer's block for about 6 months, and I just remembered one thing that you always said, and of course, what the Father says is go back to your first love. When I started writing music, is because I was writing down all my pain. So I'm like, okay, let me just go back to that. And within it, while I'm writing these songs, it was like, okay, this is the true color of my faith. This is what I am really going through, and showing my faith in doing, just the walk, and
Mhm.
showing what's going on with my feelings, what I'm struggling with. Because that's one thing that most people listen to. Of course, we got all the other stuff, but that's how it really came about, was just expressing everything and going back to what really made me feel or fall in love with music and be connected with music and God, is my feelings. So I based it literally all around that, what God has been putting me through, what He's been pruning me, how He's been moving me and shaping me, and the struggles and battles that I'm going through. And I'm being vulnerable about everything: my marriage, my life, my mental, what I'm thinking, what I've been through. So that's how it really all came about and came into one.
Definitely. And you know what I love about that, because being an artist, I understand artists are deep thinkers,
Mm,
for one. And being an artist, when you bear it all like that, these stages are very important in the process of what you're going to do next, because of this stage is important because you have to get it out.
yeah,
A lot of people walk around constipated because they don't release, and so they're backed up. But when you release in this way with True Color of My Faith and songs like Pain, That song right there. Can't wait for people to hear it.
Right.
Maybe we can get a little sneak preview here today.
Yeah, I
Of
wouldn't
it.
mind.
Okay, so you wouldn't mind. So maybe I'll upload that real quick and get a sneak peek of that. But songs like Pain, where you're talking about the what most people are harboring inside. What makes you so confident that I can share and be vulnerable like that? What is that thing?
Well, when I started writing music in high school, um, one thing that I did was I wrote something that was really, really deep to my heart, right? And I formed a song, or I can say a poetry, and a perspective of a woman, right? And
Hmm.
within that instance, I posted it on Facebook. That's when I used to be very active. And there were women that actually commented on it, like, I'm glad you said this. I'm glad you posted this because I was feeling it, but nobody ever talked about it on the woman's side. And I can tell you right now, this saved my life. And it was on the same aspect of a man too. So any just regular song that I'd write from my heart. So I feel like that anything that I write, there's somebody that's always going to hate it, but there's somebody that's always going to love it. But then there's going to
Hmm.
be that little small line to where somebody's going to look at that and hold that really close to their heart and say, you know what, this saved my life, or this is what God's telling me, or it's a release.
Yeah.
It's like you watching a podcast, or you watching somebody that's on social media, right? And they're speaking about feelings or what you should feel or how you should get over things, but this is a right way to do it, to where then you're like, you know what, that's right, or you know what, I'm glad that person finally said this. I can release a little bit. You know,
Yeah.
that's what it's
Right.
like. Yeah.
Most definitely. I can appreciate that a lot because I know how true that is. And I believe as an artist, as you continue to grow in your craft and things like that, you're going to leave this stage behind and venture off into uh new areas of what it is to become an artist throughout the years.
Right.
So I know how important this album, True Color of My Faith, is, getting it out all out there. What I'm saying? It's there, it's done. I'm over it. But right now, you're in it. How did this help you? I know it's very therapeutic, but how did it help you right now? Because you're a father, you're a husband, and you have a lot of estrogen in that house too. So
Yeah.
yeah.
The boy's
uh
coming. I ain't tripping.
the boy is coming. The boy is coming, right? So how did this help you connect even more with your household?
It showed me a lot of what my actual mental state was. Um, when you actually get to take that time and figure out what your mindset is, because a lot of people, when they're, of course, what you say is backed up, or they have that constipation, they don't know what's going on. They don't know what they're thinking because they don't take the time to sit down and like figure it out. And when
Hmm.
you're writing anything, you have no choice but to do that. So when I would sit down and I'm writing these songs, I'm like, okay, this is what I'm doing wrong, or I need to be more, um, I would say, kinder to my daughters because they're not as tough, they're not as rugged. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? I need to take different alleyways to speak to my wife. Okay, now I have all these in one cup. Now let me do it myself. What am I doing wrong?
Right.
What am I going through that I have never released, or that I thought I released, but I kept it in a small container jar and I just put it in the back stall. You see what I'm saying? So
Hmm.
it made me look at every aspect of life, what I'm doing wrong, what's going on, and then how far very important, how far I came with God since I've been literally moving with Him. A lot of people get stuck and like, okay, what am I doing? What am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to move with God? But then I'm like, okay, this is what God did for me. This is what He's doing for me. So even when it comes to any project that you're working on, a lot of people want to focus on, I'm here. What can I get or what can I do to get to this place?
Right.
But like you said, I'm here, I'm in it. And that's
Mm-hmm.
one thing that we don't appreciate. And then when we get older, a lot of people look back on it, like I wish that I would have enjoyed that more.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in that right now to where, okay, let me enjoy this, but let me make sure that I'm moving still, you know. So
Yeah, most definitely. And what I can appreciate about the what I've heard so far is the balance. Yes,
mm,
you're sharing your pains, your struggles, and things like that. But then I hear songs like we're talking about faith,
yeah,
all gas, no brakes. When I start, when I hear those type of songs, and me and you actually have a song also
yeah.
that's on the album.
Oh man,
And
I can't
so
wait till they hear that.
huh?
I can't wait till they hear that. That one, oh man.
Right. So me, you have a song also, but I see how you balanced it off. It's not just all. So I want the world to know it's not just all one,
Yeah,
beat. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? It's not just all one note. So I'm really appreciative to hear the other songs too, because that tells a lot about the other side of you that's courageous, that's like strong, that's firm, that's ready to fight in a sense
Mm,
for
mm.
what's right and things of that nature. So tell me, why did you balance the album like that?
Because it's important. When you get albums that's only stuck on one thing, your mindset becomes formed around it. I can talk about my pain. I can talk about how depressed I am. I can talk about my anxiety, or before I even knew what that was. All these in one. But then when somebody just gets that project of work and they just hear that, they're going to be stuck in that. And I didn't want that. So what I did was I structured it to where it's your mind state, um, being courageous, but also for people that are stuck in certain situations, or um, certain groups. I put to where, look, at the end of all of this, there's freedom. So at the end of the album, what you're going to hear, and it's going to be, of course, with me and Jim's on it, you're going to hear that aspect, but then you're going to hear the Be Strong and Courageous Men speak on, this is freedom, this is how you get freedom. So I think it's very important to balance everything out. And mind you, I didn't plan it out this way. I didn't plan it out this way. I just really wrote the songs, and then I had the songs here, and I'm like, okay, this is how I'm gonna structure it.
Mm-hmm.
So every song that I did, I made sure that I prayed over them, or I prayed before I wrote, or I prayed while I was writing. Each one of these songs is a prayer. It's not just a song. It's not me just speaking. This is literally me saying a prayer to myself, speaking to God, or praying for others. Literally all it's about. So when people get that and they hear that prayer, they're like, okay, he said all of this. Now I know how to move in my own way. I know what God's telling me to do. You know what I mean? So it's a smoother road for people to maneuver when they listen to everything in its entirety.
Most definitely, most definitely. Have you allowed your wife to hear it?
She's heard, like, every time I would play it and mix and master it, I'll play it through the speakers.
Uh-huh.
So she's heard it. I haven't gotten her thought
To
process on it
sit
yet.
and listen to it yet. She hasn't
Yeah,
sat and
I'll
listened to it.
just sit
Okay.
and listen to it. That's it.
Yeah, I believe that matters a lot. That support from the wife is going to be big, especially with the
Mhm.
album, because of how vulnerable you're being. I respect you as an artist, as a man, also man first, of course. And I've seen your growth over the years, and uh, you coming in at certain times uncertain of how to express things to now I'm just embracing it all.
Mhm.
The embracing of maturity is big, because in our country, in our nation, right, we don't always get a rite of passage.
Yeah.
We don't get, like, from 0 to 12. We didn't get, most of us didn't have parents that allowed us to go through the emotional things we need to go through and get us on the other end of it and have us healthy and mature, so when we reach these adolescent years, we're ready. So a
Mhm.
lot of us transition later in life, you know. So this stage right here, it may should have been a transition you had early in life, right?
Oh
But
yeah.
now, it's happening. So what do you think about, or how are you raising your children now that they don't have to have this later in life release?
Um, man, I'm letting them know this is what you need to be and feel in the instance. You know, in this instant. My daughter sometimes she will express something and then she'll be like, okay, never mind. I'm like, no, get back here. I'm like, say what you say what you're feeling. Never let it in. So or never keep it in. So what I do is I make sure that she expresses it right then and there. That's why, they're not holding this in and they're keeping it till like they're 18, 20, 25.
Right.
And I'm showing the same thing to my wife, because one thing is that's very important, especially when you have girls, is that they look at the mom on how to act. And I'm teaching my wife, I'm like, okay, make sure if you're expressing something, don't say never mind. Make sure you express it in a different way. If you're upset, don't yell, don't scream. Make sure that you're showing them how to express or act within that moment, how to control
Mm-hmm.
their emotions. Because one thing that's big in this nation is that women are very emotional and they can't control anything. Like, that I don't think that's true. Anybody can control anything. They just
That's right.
need the right teacher to do so.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's one thing that I'm teaching is to take your emotions, but also move correctly while in that situation. Because
Mm-hmm.
it's easier to do that now when you're younger than you are to learn that and go through trials and tribulations to figure out, like, okay, this is how I need to move. You know,
100%.
yeah.
That's what I love about this stage of life. When you're able to get that freedom from the release and getting an album like this out and showing the colorful balance of what faith look like and things like that, how it really helps who's behind you, whether it's wife, children. And that's what I really respect about what you're doing, because this album is a reflection of your true life. It's like, I'm a overcomer, so the younger my children are, the quicker they'll be able to overcome. And so it's beautiful, man. You're a young man, you at it, bro. You getting at it, and I'm very proud of it. What do you want people to know about this album that I may have not asked you? What do you want them to know?
Mm. Oh man, it's not too late to release anything that you have in your mind. It's not too late to express what's going on. There's somebody always listening, even if it doesn't seem like somebody's listening. Take that time to really sit by yourself, speak to God, and reevaluate anything. The one thing that I prayed for is show me all of my, and I've actually expressed it on the songs too. Show me my flaws. Show me what I'm missing. That's why I can correct them. Same thing if it's like a spiritual battle. Show me anything that's like any demonic presence or whatever that's in my household. That's why I can take care of it as the man of the house. Um, Make sure you're taking that time to really reevaluate yourself and completely know what's wrong or what's causing these thorns and why you're moving the way you're moving. You know, um, it's just not too late to actually speak to God and to speak to yourself. That's the most important thing. A lot of people might say you're crazy, but I think that's very important because you get to know yourself, you get to know how you move, because the more you master yourself, along with God, please do not just do that on your own, but along with God, you can help other people master whatever problems they're going through. So I think that's like the biggest thing that I can
Most
say.
definitely. I agree. I definitely agree with that 100%. And the beautiful thing about completing something, right? I want to talk about that, because
Mm,
how hard is it to complete something that you start? Because we talk a lot about, like, people, you can have a great start, but a terrible finish, right? You
Yeah.
could, hey, I got 2 songs done. Hey, I'm gonna do an album, and 2 years
Right.
later, somebody asking you, hey man, what happened to the album?
Mm-hmm.
You understand that process. So how hard was it, or is it, or how easy could it be to complete something like this?
Man. Okay. So let's go down the road real quick. All right. To complete anything, you have to make sure that you have your mind set and your mind, saying, okay, this is exactly what I'm gonna do, no matter what the cost is. Now you have to count the cost of what that actually is, and that's usually an unknown. Um, Within me creating this album, I've dropped several tracks already, and I'm like, okay, you know what? God keeps pushing me to make this album. And I kept trying to push it off, and I'm like, you know what? This is what I'm going to do. This is actually what I'm going to do. So within that, God, I prayed. Let me say this: I prayed, and I'm like, I want to make sure that I get rid of all distractions. I want to make sure that I am fully embraced in you and understanding my flaws of myself and what I can do to help my family get on the right track to where I'm at in my faith. So within this process, I'm writing one song, 2 songs, and then I get distracted. To where once I get distracted, I get depressed. Off the mission. I'm off my post.
Hmm.
Um, I'm getting upset over little things, and there's a season to where I'm like, God, I'm struggling with all these things. Like, why can I get anything out? And it was because I was too focused on the world. I was too focused on the natural things, what's in the house. I got to make sure this is clean. I got to make sure that there's you got to make sure that you are structuring what's important first to
Mm-hmm.
what's least important. So what I did was I'm like, okay, what am I always telling my family? It's God first, then it's me and my wife, then it's the kids, then it's the house. Okay, let me go back to that. Work doesn't matter. Money's always going to come. God's going to make sure that comes regardless. I didn't care about work. That was out of the window. So while I'm structuring these things, I'm getting back in tune to what who I am and who I am within the faith. So this is weeks. I made sure that it wasn't months, but it was weeks on me trying to complete something. And then when I'm moving, there's little roadblocks that happen, songs not being cleared or certain things not being put through, and there's always something that's going to come, but it really matters on how you're going to act and how you're structurally going to move within that instant.
Hmm.
So while I'm doing this, I actually found out that my wife and my kids are looking at me while I'm going through this process, and that was another thing to where I'm like, okay, I really got to be on my P's and Q's, not just for me, but my family as well. Um, Making sure that I'm in my Bible, showing my wife like this is what I'm reading. Make sure I'm reading the Bible before she goes to bed, and all these little things add up to where now I have a foundation that's not moving. To where now I can rock, I can walk this paved road that I've made to where okay, I finally reached the finish line of making this album. Now I can fully I can fully relax. I
Hmm.
can say because the release part already happened. I was going through things while I'm writing these songs, releasing little things little by little. When you're lifting them weights, you letting little airs out.
Right.
Then when that workout is finished, you're okay. So that's where I can probably say with that, for sure.
100%, because I think that answer was good, because I know there's even a lot of people, not even just young people, who started projects, started things, gave up on stuff, think they're too old to be rapping or doing anything, or especially sometimes when you're an artist, or you're never too old to do poetry. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, So
Yeah.
I don't understand what's the big deal by putting a beat behind it and expressing it. So I want people to really hear what you said. Like, yes, it's gonna be trials. You're gonna have all kind of thoughts. You're gonna have all kind of situations going on, even at the crib, for why you don't have time to complete stuff. But as
We're
you go ahead.
a this is a ministry. Even if we
Mm,
don't look at it that way, this is literally a ministry. We are preachers in an instance, right? These are psalms that we're writing, that we're expressing, but also teachings. People don't understand that when you're writing any type of song, what do you learn from it? Let's go, way back in the day. They were teaching something. They were teaching you something. You've gotten some knowledge, and it's even happening now today, especially for the young people.
right.
You're learning something through the music. Why do you think the trends are happening? Why do you think the way people dress, work a certain way? They're learning something from it, to where this is how the way we're moving into this generation. So regardless of what the age is, it's like it doesn't matter. It matters on, like, okay, did God give you a ministry? Even people don't look at it that way. You're saying some words, you're teaching something, you're putting scripture, or you're putting feelings into it, but you're showing people an avenue on how they should go. Same thing if you're reading the Bible. You're teaching people what the word of God says, but showing them an avenue on what they should go. So I wanted to make sure that that was very clear.
100%. I can definitely appreciate that, man. Am I missing anything? Because what I do want to do in a moment, man, I want to definitely take the time to allow people to hear this song, Pain, that bless my soul to hear it. I can't wait for you guys to hear this song. It's called Pain. But tell us a little bit before we listen to it. Tell us a little bit about Pain, about the song that you made, Pain.
Right. Literally exactly what it says. You're struggling through different types of pain within your life, but um, I made it into a perspective to where I was a young kid um, in high school, teenager, growing up to be a man, but I still had all these insecurities. Um, my mom was way too strict, or I couldn't move how I wanted to. I couldn't think how I wanted to think. I had to move in a direction of a very strict parent.
Mm-hmm.
But then when I seen other kids as well, I also took it into the aspect of I lost a father at the age of 4, um, and there's no security for me. I don't have a man to, this is what's good, son, or champ, or just hear that affirmation from a man, to where as a black man, I'm seeing all these, and I'm a victim. I'm not even gonna say victim, but I was placed in a situation to where it was unfair for a young black kid, to where a lighter complexion person got more privilege off of that.
Mm.
To where I'm expressing, like, I didn't want to be the skin color. I hated what I was because I didn't know who I was. Um, in all, I would say this record is about feeling pain, but being lost completely.
Definitely.
That's what I can say, is being lost.
So what I want to do now is I'm bringing this all to a close. I think this was a great interview. I think people got a lot of your heart while you've done this, and they're going to get this interview will allow them to see your growth and maturity for the next album.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
anything you wanted to say, because we're going to end this with Pain, and once Pain go off, I got to go and cop the album on April 5th on all streaming platforms. So this is the how we're going to end it with Pain. I'm gonna let you guys hear it for the first time, and then you'll be able to purchase it in 2 days. Anything else you wanted to say, man, before we got off here?
No, man. Shout out to the B Star and Crazies family, man. I didn't think I was gonna get this much support. I've never had this much support for anything that I've done when it came to music, but it's just something that was really near and dear to my heart. And anybody else that listens to the album that gets something from it, the only thing that I get, and this is subtracting me, is that you guys get something out of it, that it frees somebody or it brings somebody out of a mindset and brings them closer to God. That's really all I can say and all I really want. That's my hope.
Most definitely, man. Well, we appreciate you too, bro. You know, it's all love. And I was about to make a joke, but I'm not even gonna do it. But we gonna end this with pain. Thank you guys for joining us again. This is from our artist, Be Strong Courageous Artist Ethic. Oh, tell them what ethic mean.
Edifying the healing in Christ.
Edifying the healing in Christ. There we go. All right, go April 5th and get the album. It's only $15. Go and get it. All right, here we go. We're gonna end it with pain. And until next time, peace, grace, and love. We out.
It's just different.
Yeah. Thought I found love, then I went and lost it. Toxic relationships, it got me feeling heartless. Moved to the other side, back up in pocket. Gave you the strap, ain't know that my heart was the target. Move along with a lot of weight on me. Money long, but a lot of hate in me. Mind so gone, you can feel my heartbeat. It's just pain and jealousy. Move along with a lot of weight on me. Money long, but a lot of hate in me. Mind so gone, you can feel my heartbeat. It's just pain and jealousy.
But please don't hate me, I've been dealing with trauma young like a baby. Please don't shade me, I've been starving from growth, more like a baby. If I was shaky, I was raised by the snakes, pride of a lion. I was denying my emotion, my poker face like an ocean. God was showing me my wrongs, I was looking at a fake mirror, showing people a false me that was addicted just like a dealer. I would manipulate, showing mirages of your reality. It was sad to see, showing your wrongs more like a sadness. It wasn't sad to me, no confidence, unless it was all competitive, repetitive behavior would never change on a dime. But it was fine, my pride and emotion just had the best of me. Was impressed to see Holy Spirit changed my mind on a dime. But
thought I found love, then I went and lost it. Toxic relationships, it got me feeling heartless. Moved to the other side, back up in pocket. Gave you the strap, ain't know that my heart was the target. Move along with a lot of weight on me. Money long, but a lot of hate in me. Mind so gone, you can feel my heartbeat. It's just pain and jealousy. Move along with a lot of weight on me. Money long, but a lot of hate in me. Mind so gone, you can feel my heartbeat. It's just pain and jealousy.
see, I was jealous of the people that even had all the money. I was jealous of the people that even had all the clothes. I was jealous of the family that even just had their fathers. I was jealous of the people that had nothing but the pros. I was jealous of the family that even had better mothers. I was jealous of my parents that really just told me no. I was jealous of my melanin, really wish I had lighter skin. I was jealous of being different, really wanted to fit in. I was jealous of the stairs, was tired of being compared. I was jealous I wasn't enough, jealous I wasn't tough. Tired of being poor, I wanted to drown up on the shore. I was tired of being me, I could have been a better me. But
thought I found love, then I went and lost it. Toxic relationships, it got me feeling heartless. Moved to the other side, back up in pocket. Gave you the strap, ain't know that my heart was the target. Move along with a lot of weight on me. Money long, but a lot of hate in me. Mind so gone, you can feel my heartbeat. It's just pain and jealousy. Move along with a lot of weight on me. Money long, but a lot of hate in me. Mind so gone, you can feel my heartbeat. It's just pain and jealousy.